We live a box life. We live a box life. Was Terence Crawford hating on Errol Spence Jr.? As you know by now, Terence Crawford made some interesting tweets during the Errol Spence Jr. fight and had some interesting things to say after the fight. And some boxing fans saying he hating. So we're gonna take a look at the tweets and we're gonna hear what he had to say. And we're gonna figure the shit out. Was Terence Crawford hating, or is saying Terence Crawford hating pure blasphemy?
Chopping up like squally, yeah.
What do you think, man? Just they have it. For the jump, you can tell that his balance was off. He was reaching. You know, just they have it tonight.
You know, do you think it was a layoff? Do you think it was a combination of things? Like, what do you think?
Probably all of it. He didn't take the punches well. He was slow. Like, you could just tell that Tim was more fresher.
Was it hard for you to watch?
Kinda. You know, I really wanted him to do real well. He did what he had to do to finish the fight, though.
He announced that he's not going to fight in the ring anymore. Obviously, you think that's the right decision based on what you saw here tonight, right?
Yeah, he's been in a lot of wars, you know, with his fighting style. Come forward, take some punishment, dish some punishment, and try to break somebody down. That type of style, you know, it don't even go so far.
I saw your tweet saying that the body language just wasn't there also.
Yeah, like I said, you know, he was off balance, you know, and he just didn't have it tonight.
So you saw the tweets and you heard what Terence Crawford had to say. Now tell me, what did he say wrong? By the 6th round, I had to fight pretty much even. And even in the rounds that Errol Spence did win, you could tell he just wasn't quite right. And we heard everybody across social media and all the boxing pundits echo the same sentiment, that Errol Spence just didn't have it. It was the end of an era. So you didn't have a problem with what Bud had to say. You had a problem with who said it. Now, Terence Crawford flew all the way to Australia to support Errol Spence. And the irony is, I didn't see no other boxer there to support Errol Spence, knowing that this could possibly be his last fight. And we know Bud had a vested interest in seeing Errol Spence win, because supposedly when your former opponent wins his next fight, it makes your resume look better. And that's some bullshit that I never bought into. That's just some shit you say when you want to hate on a fighter. Any trainer would tell you that there are some fighters or fights that a fighter has that after that fight, they're just not the same. And Terence Crawford is one of those fighters. And that's because Terence Crawford has the ability to catch you in your most vulnerable moment, your most defenseless moment. He catches you while you're punching, and you can't punch and defend at the same time. And when you get caught like that, it short circuits the body. You ever had a phone or a car that had electrical problems? When you start to have those kind of electrical problems, you may not never get it fixed right. It's almost like it's never the same again. Think about David Avenesian. Terence Crawford catches him mid-punch, dropping him in a devastating knockout. Now, David Avenesian fought Boots Ennis next, and Boots Ennis also stopped David Avenesian. But notice that you never heard nobody say that Terence Crawford's resume was aging badly. That's because if you did, you would have been taking credit away from Boots Ennis. And that definitely was not going to take credit away from Boots Ennis. Now think about when Pitbull Cruz was getting dog walked by Rayo. And then Roland Romero was getting knocked out by Pitbull Cruz. And Ryan Garcia was getting knocked down and beat up by Rolly. They never took credit away from Tank Davis. But soon as they started winning, they gave the credit to Tank Davis. So that's why I don't listen to that age and resume shit. You only use it to hate on the fighter that you don't like. And if the fighters do win, you use it to raise the value of the fighter that you do like. And to use Errol Spence Jr.'s final fight, his retirement fight, his curtain call as a weapon to aim at Terence Crawford is nasty work, bro. Nasty work. It's far nastier than anything that Crawford had to say about the actual fight. It's something about today's boxing fan that when a boxer retires, they seem to want him to go sit down and shut up. Just go away. We saw them do this with Mayweather, and now they're doing it with Terence Crawford. I remember in football when the talk shows consisted of mostly reporters, that people demanded that ex-football players be able to speak on football in order to add some type of validity or nuance to the game, being that they played the game, but not in boxing. They don't want to hear an ex-boxer talk boxing, somebody who really knows the sport inside and out. So let me get this right. You don't want to hear an ex-boxer talk boxing. You don't want to hear the casuals talk boxing. You don't want to hear the pundits talk boxing. So who do you want to hear talk boxing? Oh, let me get it. You want to hear you talk boxing. The problem with hearing you talk boxing or hearing the fans talk boxing is that they're only going to glaze the fighters that they like, and they're going to hate or cook the fighters that they don't like, regardless of skill set. Crazy work. You see, we're living in a social media era. And the good thing about social media is that it gave everybody a voice. The bad thing about social media is it gave everybody a fucking voice. Some of you niggas need your voice taken away from you. In fact, some of these channels need a disclaimer on them that says for entertainment purposes only. No facts included. You feel me? Now, don't get me wrong. There's some good channels out there that treat the sport fairly. And if we had a number of channels that treated the sport fairly, then the entertainment channels wouldn't be so bad. But in today's climate, it's the entertainment channels or the fanned out channels that's dominating the coverage of the sport, at least on YouTube. Now, don't get me wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with debating and getting your point across. No problem with that. But the sports coverage needs balance. You see, these debates and this type of coverage comes with a lot of false narratives. And that's because people are more concerned with winning the argument than they are actually covering the sport. You see, I shouldn't be able to come to your channel and I already know what your angle is. I know who you like and I know who you don't like. And it shouldn't be that obvious, but it is. And that's because your opinion will always follow the direction of your bias. Now, as for me, I'm a little bit different. I listen to the boxers. I listen to the trainers. I listen to the pundits. I listen to the people on the inside. See, it's a reason why insider trading is illegal. This is what they're saying. You can listen to anybody you want. You can listen to anybody on YouTube. You can listen to anybody outside. You can listen to anybody you want. But the moment you start listening to somebody on the inside, it's deemed illegal. So illegal that your ass could go to jail. But when it comes to boxing, it's not illegal. And that's where I want my information from. People on the inside. I don't have high regard for opinions and people's opinions on the outside. Not that there's nothing wrong with an opinion. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's just for me, I know how biased opinions are. So what you want me to do with that? That's your opinion. That's how you feel. That may not be how I feel. I need information. I'm an information guy. So on this channel, I want to deliver information. Then you can form your opinion about information. So when it comes to boxing, I need my information to be aligned with the way a boxer thinks, the way a trainer thinks, the way the pundits think. Because if it's not aligned, then I'm probably just giving you a trash ass opinion that's going to only support the fighter I like or go against the fighter that I don't like, which is what you hear most of the time here on YouTube. So when it comes to real boxing talk, I want to listen to a real boxer, somebody on the inside. And ain't nobody more qualified to talk boxing than Terence Crawford. So if you can get your feelings past thinking that Terence Crawford was hating, Terence Crawford actually said something that was very valuable. Take a listen to this.
Yeah, he been in a lot of wars, you know, with his fighting style. Come forward, take some punishment, dish some punishment, and try to break somebody down. That type of style, you know, it only goes so far.
And Terence Crawford was 100% right. Errol Spence had a high-risk, high-reward fighting style. He came straight forward, not a lot of head movement, but he broke his opponent down. But in the process, he took a lot of punches. And I heard trainers say this before, that Errol Spence had a straight up and down style. And I even heard Bomac say that Errol Spence never changed his style as an amateur.
And I've been watching him since he was an amateur. And, you know, he still fight the same from back then to now. So,
and people called it hating. But when Errol Spence himself comes out on the interview and say that he never changed his style as an amateur, now you get it.
You need to look at our past fight, like I was just doing the same thing over and over. But, you know, I was dominating people here, but I was doing the same thing over and over and over. Nothing really, you know, changed about me.
But I get it. Errol Spence was winning. And if you're a fan of Errol Spence, you don't want to hear no criticism. You don't want to hear that shit. All you saw was Errol Spence was stopping shit. And that's the problem with letting fans cover boxing. They make the end of the fight retroactive to the whole fight. So you assume that if a fighter stops a guy, that he fought the whole fight like that. And that's absolutely wrong. You see, the people that can cover the sport fairly, we see the nuances in the game. We can see the flaws. And it's basically saying that if you don't correct this, this is gonna be a problem down the line. But not fans. Fans wanna wait till a fighter loses, then they can say, oh, he need to correct this or he correct this. It's too late now. So for example, when we saw Boots Ennis fight Xander, it was clear that Boots needs to tighten up on his defense. People say you're hating. Not only did we hear Terence Crawford say, we heard a number of boxers said, a number of trainers said, but the fans say, hey man, you hating on Boots. But when Boots comes out and say, hey man, I had a lack of judgment, I fell asleep, I got lazy, I need to tighten up on that in training. Oh, now you get it. Some of us don't have to wait. We see it because we cover the sport fairly. But if you fanned out, all you want to see is your favorite fighter win, and you don't want your favorite fighter to have no criticism. There's an old saying, you got to stare a gift horse in the mouth, meaning you got to be truthful. If you see the flaws, if you see where your favorite fighter could tighten up on something, put it out there in the YouTube verse. These fighters are listening to YouTube. Don't wait till your favorite fighter lose to be honest. I even heard some people say that Errol Spence, now that he's retired, say, well, Errol Spence had some flaws. He had some flaws in his fighting style. Well, you didn't say that when Errol Spence was fighting. When people did say it, you called it hating. You niggas got to get the pom-poms out your eyes, man. Because when it comes to a fighter that you don't like, you seem to see everything. You see shit that ain't even there. But anyway, the fanned out gonna do what the fanned out do. It is what it is. So Terence Crawford was not hating. He was speaking the truth. And Terence Crawford can say whatever the fuck he want to say. Just like you niggas on YouTube. Say whatever the fuck outlandish shit that you want to say. So a nigga like me is happy to get advice from the best fighter in the world. And I didn't mince my words. I said the best fighter in the world. And for some of you who say, well, he's retired, how can he be the best fighter in the world?
So, I ain't got nothing to do today. So I thought I'd come in here and work out for the first time since I fought. And guess what they got me doing? Well, I got myself doing. Sparring Lester. About to get in. Just 2 rounds. Stay tuned, baby. Listen. Got my ass in there. 2 rounds, got my ass kicked. That's very humbling. I ain't used to that. I gotta get back in shape. I can't just be going months and months and months, not doing nothing, and then think I'm young and I can get in here and spar the big dogs like that. I'll be back though. Stay tuned. I'll be back though. Stay tuned.
Be sure to go lock in with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence on all social. Then come back over here and lock in with this channel so you can be notified when a new pack come in. I'm too rich. We eat, sleep, and breathe boxing.
We live a box life. We live a box life.